But the Yoru on Haven is a proven thing. You're going to have a lot more long-range fights. You're going to get a lot more benefit from the fast rotates from that Yoru. There's going to be a lot more opportunity to farm up your ultimates. This is a better map for their comp. This is a map where they're comfortable on historically, and it's a map where they actually get to start on the attack side and dictate their own pace. And those things, to me, feel like a recipe to maybe get back in this series.
Well, let's see who will set the tone here in the pistol. WADA stacked up 4 players up in mid. Starbound just gets a kill from up top site, teleports on through. So Bunny B's not going to be a factor into this round. It looks like KIRI are walking straight into the trap. A nice shot from Cal will take Starbound down to 17 HP, but this crossfire, I just don't know how you're going to expect it. I don't know if Koro saw a player on the turn there, but it looks like KIRI are calling out of this one.
Enough to get suspicious, now backing away and walking back towards garage. There'll be fast rotates from those players through B, but there's not actually going to be anyone to anchor on site, but they don't want to go site.
I like this little walk up here. Astralis is going to see some players. Call in support from the rest of her team. They're Starbound, and Astralis will drop that. Opens up the C site. A lot of dollars still here and ready to play. Choosing to actually take control of mid. Push on through, don't worry about their flanks, but this fight in ceiling could be everything.
Yeah, look at Kurosu, walked all the way up, now chooses to back away just a bit. KIRI, they have to pick an avenue and they have to fight into it. They'll choose CT.
I mean, these players are coming in loud, right? You know, we got a dart into the back site. WADA look like they're on the attack side of things, and that dart does tag. Terra now a little bit low. Counter dart on the other side. KIRI turning around to fight back into it, but it's Juna to take the first kill. Now Terra gets up into it. 3 kills. And on to a one-on-one Terror to try and keep it alive. What is that? Headshot out of nowhere. And KIRI strike first.
Okay, Terror just does it single-handedly, tapping away towards long for 3. The overheal is so powerful on that pistol rounds, up to 150 health and hitting those shots almost instantly. That's the round you wanted for KIRI. This is a team that is built off individual prowess. The way they beat 100 Thieves was running them over with individual excellence. And Terror getting a 4K on the pistol, there's not a better way to start.
And you know, it can be easy to snowball when everything's going well, when you're, you know, cruising versus 100 Thieves yesterday, but it's hard to pick yourself back up after what happened to them in map number 1. I think having a big round already on the pistol here is exactly what Terror needed. Now just keeping things calm, clean as they work up into the A site. Outlaw in Bunny B's hand isn't going to quite find the mark, and actually WADA with this site smoke have given time to flood 4 players into the site. It's not so simple, and these kills are starting to come in. The classics, the sheriffs, the gunplay from KIRI is not showing up. It is once again just Terror try and bail her team out of the round. But now that spike left out in the open. Aries in the other hand, Terror with 3, and now Terror all on her own. WADA come right back in with a vengeance.
An excellent attempt from Terror, but not even she can do it alone. Tried to get every kill necessary for the team yet again. No one else has a kill except Cal Sushi right now on KIRI. But for WADA, it was just really great fundamentals from them. Just hanging out together backside, swinging in as 2, and for KIRI, the fundamentals not quite as good there. And from the highest of highs, bouncing back after a terrible map 1, getting an incredible pistol round, to now back down to the lowest of lows.
And you are now looking at Starbound to go for this walk down on mid. Doesn't quite track the head. Peeking over the box.
By the way, Terror has bought full armor classic this round. Interesting.
It's a choice. It's a choice to be sure. 1,400 creds should be good enough to still buy a gun.
Here's the thing, they swing an outlaw, live from the first shot, and then just double think with the classic.
Or you live from the first shot, so then you overheal because you're playing Clove. That's what my silly brain is telling me to do.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Then you die to the outlaw if you don't buy.
Let's worry about that after the kill comes in, if it comes in. Right now, Starbound is a little bit low, suppressed a tad, but Power Pixel's going to come in on the support now, just hanging out inside of the smoke, switching guns. It doesn't exactly matter. Cal's just jumping around getting kills. And Terror finding a way to get active now, pushing back towards spawn, rifle in hand, overheal to 130.
They don't know that Juna's still on site.
Juna's position is just checkmate instantly into the round. Terra now swarmed, the overheal runs out, and WADA advance.
That was a TDM-ass round. I don't even know what was happening there. It just full run it down onto the site. Classic full armor jumping into his smoke, die, immediately res, and try and keep on going. I'm shocked that they almost win it. Credit to KIRI, but in all of that chaos, they lose track of the Astra, who had been sitting in this corner the entire time, and Juna is able to swiftly put an end to the pandemonium. So now, guns for both sides, and crucially for WADA, an op coming up pretty early for Starbound.
Yeah, that op is going to be top site over on C. No one really headed that direction right now from KIRI, just opening things up a little bit more reservedly onto the A side of the map. I think now KIRI, the early info they've gotten is WADA have done a lot of stacking of sites, of quick flooding on in, so KIRI want to play a slower round and gather some info before committing forward.
Good timing on the drone back through mid. That's not going to see anything. And with a forward player posted on C, you start to get suspicious about something going on towards the A side.
As soon as you see nothing on B and the op has that, like, they have to be on A. And it's really just WADA choosing to play full retake. They could have rotated over if they wanted. Exactly, as you're saying. So, KIRI will get in no problem. I think WADA continue to play the stacked style, hoping they can walk on in.
You don't have the Sobol, Christy. Update.
What is that? Just through a smoke?
Yep. I think so.
A little bit silly. And it looks like Koro wants to continue playing forward. There is a flank coming in on the other side. But if Terror just locks this... What is that spam? Through the floor on stairs out of Femboy. We're getting real nerdy with it. And somehow that's managed to break the crossfire. Although without the threat of the flank, WADA's chances to get back into the site continue to get a little bit worse and worse and worse. Starbound doesn't have a target just yet. Now Astral is turning around, but it's a little bit too late. Koro takes two. Now this operator making a mad dash back towards spawn will be taken out.
I think that this comp is very good into the operator, because either you're hitting into Starbound site and then you have a ISO wall, you have an ISO shield. All of these tools are very good to deal with an opper stuck on a line, or you're hard hitting the other site, and the way that they play their post plants, no util. Literally just crossfire and fight up. Run towards spawn, take a fight, do whatever you want. And those are also such debilitating kind of ways of playing to deal with someone who is offing. And for WADA, I think the big thing of this half is figuring out how Starbound can still find value with that weapon they rely on so much.
Well, again, over towards C, this time two players right behind them. Koro to face up first. Good flash. We'll push off the angle, and now Bunny's actually up into this. It's getting ulted away. It's a bit of a mess. Pandemonium breaking out on site. Juna trying to hold it down, but falls almost instantly. The flood continues. A flash and now an entrance from Femboy. Spike has yet to be planted. Cal put over into the corner. Shut on down. Femboy has just snatched this round back for WADA. We'll have to do it all. Isolated, now teleporting back.
Cutting through.
A chance now to threaten from multiple different angles. Where is Koro going to be expecting this from? Right now looking the wrong direction with plenty of time to work with. 50 seconds remain on the clock. A little bit of a push wall to try and guarantee the plant, but doesn't. Expect the safety.
Spike planted.
It finally goes down, and there's nowhere else to go. Femboy took that chance to slip back into the site and get 4 kills and the round.
So well played by Femboy there to win out with this Red Bull clutch. Manages to get back into backside, gets 2 kills there, then immediately is TPing out, but doesn't rush into making the next step of that play. So patient to know that their opponent has to stick around on that side, has to be the one to put the onus on themselves and find just the perfect moment to pounce and win out in that 1-versus-1. Huge credit to them. A player who is always going to be stepping up for WADA. And winning out in the rounds where I think you saw the highest highs and the lowest lows of KIRI simultaneously, where they're so good at fighting together and swinging into backside, and then they're up, and they're still swinging one by one, and someone like Femboy can just completely flip the round.
Yeah, using those fast rotates, making use of the Yoru. You know, when I was coming into this map in particular, I was expecting it to be the Bunny Bee show. It was yesterday versus 100 Thieves, right? 9-1 in opening duels taken on this map of Haven versus the signed squad, but so far Bunny B yet to even find the first. been such a strong player, regardless of roster they played on for a few years, but gonna have to dig a little bit deeper if KIRI are gonna make a dent here against WADA.
Yeah, on KIRI, I think Bunny B has to be the player with the biggest legacy. You look all the way back to like 2022 Game Changers when they were playing with EXED in those early years, making it deep, making it into top 4s, top 3s way back when. And it's been kind of off and on with a lot of different teams for Bunny B, still trying to find that next step and getting really close here. A win in this game could be into top 3.
Boy gets a little bit of information on the drone through, and Pixel's gonna use that very nicely. KIRI didn't have much of anything working into this round. No surprises there, but WADA continue to just sort of suffocate them round and round. A shot out of Cal, but yeah, just the one.
Nothing else will come of it. So WADA go up 4-2. KIRI, they found some success with some of these faster rounds, with getting into some of these opening kills. Round 5, they nearly won it just on that quick C hit, but fall apart right towards the very end. So now I think a question of consistency, because a lot of what WADA is doing has just been leaving Starbound solo on one site, and then kind of playing a lot of the time, a lot of players towards mid as fast rotate, and being pretty willing to give a bit of space, play into that retake. So if you're KIRI, what do you do? A quick default towards A. They found a lot of success here, but this time the op is posted.
KIRI can solve some problems with bodies and utility, but this cage about to drop. The fight here will be everything, and quite drag the crossover fast enough. Doesn't matter, because the second shot is going to go their way. And instantly, KIRI,
right here.
Tail get out of the A lobby space, now headed up into B. Acting with a little bit of speed here. And Juna will let them, because there's a Hunter's Fury on the other side, making it real messy on site. Autumn has slowed up the utility combo of Chamber and Sova. Nets a kill. And now the walls start to close on in. KIRI, no, they can't plant the spike. No, they need to garner some amount of space somewhere, need to do something. And that fight is going to come as this smoke dissipates.
I cannot.
But it's going to come straight into Starbound once again. KIRI taking their time.
Spike
Finally, the
planted.
spike goes down. And now the swing. Koro gets the first, taken down immediately. Cal on the swing as well. Now that'll be a couple. All of a sudden, KIRI have some kind of purchase back into the site. Cal having a bit of a round, but that's just going to be it. The heads turn to terror. Someone's got to be a hero, but KIRI just can't get the player to step up when they need it. Femboy again secures the round.
It's WADA to win that round out in the very nick of time, but I did like a lot of the changes for KIRI. They show that same A default that they've done in a lot of previous rounds, and instead quickly show a pivot back into this B site. Once they have that space, instead of immediately running it down, they call a freeze, wait, and re-clear A link. And that fight was so successful. I think where the mistake happens is from taking that space A link, they very quickly rush to try and turn and fight the players coming back through C link into the site. I would have liked to see them stick around a little longer in A-Link and try and play the time for a bit. Instead, they end up taking the duel, and it's some great trades out of WADA to keep in control and win the round regardless.
Yeah, you know, it does seem like KIRI are a little bit scared to play a spread approach on the map because of the threat of the operator on the other side, so just investing round after round, a whole lot of utility into A, even the push wall, the drone now. The kill contract plucks away Power Pixel. And Koro's gonna need this one, gonna need this to get back into the site. It does not go their way. Still, look at this, traded out, Femboy inside the smoke, teleports away, Juna back into the site now. What a dodge, just distraction, deception, layer upon layer, as each player takes their moment to get back into the site. This puts Cal in an awkward position. Ghosts in the walls. Where's the next person gonna come from?
WADA can just wait, let the spike get planted, then come back in together. They are at a huge advantage here.
This angle from Autumn doesn't pay off. And Cal again stuck on an island, pinged up, taken down. WADA.
Here.
Just continue this march.
They're doing such a good job of staying calm under the pressure that KIRI applies. This is a team that they are always going fast. They are so debilitating to play against. You saw 100 Thieves completely crumbled when faced with what this team was bringing to bear on their attack sides. But WADA are very willing to slow things down. They have the mechanical skill to be willing, as these execs are coming in, to contest into them, to find those gaps. KIRI does not have perfect team play. They do not always swing together. What they have is impeccable mechanics and incredible aggression. But if you are willing to find those gaps, if you are up to their level and willing to fight them as they come in, you can expose them for those mistakes, and that's exactly what WADA are doing.
And frankly, if there is someone that can just go up forward and challenge round to round like Starbound's Chamber, that level of confidence makes it so hard for KIRI to play. How's Bunny B going to do this? Bunny B has to get this kill, but it's not there. The quick pull of the trigger out of Starbound. And now as Astralis and Juna continue into the site, this round ends before it even really began.
That is just a statement of what the game is at present moment. An attempt at the Yoru ult shotgun play. Starbound pulls out the chamber pistol and immediately eviscerates them. 7-2. KIRI gonna call another timeout. This is where it gets difficult for a team like this. It has been on this miraculous run that no one really thought was gonna make it this far to begin with. But now you come up against an opponent who, they're the ones stealing the momentum. They're the ones dictating the pace of the game. And down 7-2 on their attack side, you honestly think that they have to win out if they want a real hope to come back here on Haven.
Does certainly feel that way. Team that finds so much success on the attack side, but it's hard for me because I feel like there needs to be some level of added confidence from KIRI. Like the ability to, even if there is that threat of the chamber op, to play the map a little bit more and allow their solo players to go on a walk. Sure, one player might die, but the rest of your team, as soon as you figure out where the chamber is going to be, maybe then you can try and take a little bit more space, take the fights away from where Starbound is. It's not like Starbound is the only problem, by the way. It's just these early round fights are sort of forcing KIRI to play in a way where they're all bundled together and really playing their hand, showing exactly what they're trying to do in the round.
And normally when a team is in this position, I'll think about it and be like, okay, let's see them slow things down. Let's see them go into a default there, take their time a bit more. But I really don't think that with the way that this team plays, that they are going to be as good in those kind of positions. I think they have to be trying to take some kind of fight, trying to make some kind of play. What is the play?
All right, well, 1-3-1 to start things off, so it is trying to get a little bit more information. At the same time, a creep forward on A long from Starbound's off. KIRI really poking their way into Garage. Already the wall broken. A lot of problems to be dealt with. This drone gonna get marginal information of a Clove in mid.
First time this game, really, that you're seeing this Vice util actually get pressured.
There's a big
Most
problem,
of the time
Mimi.
it's just been up for free.
Callie used the drone up into Garage, so now there's no good way to clear out this close corner where the judge is being held from Femboy. No one's even looking at it. No patience at all, so it'll just be a 1-for-1. Maybe this could be a way back in the round for KIRI. Terror has to march on forward, find something on the site where a teleport in the back is shut down. WADA continue to hold their own. The kill count just rises and rises and rises, and this round dwindles away.
And that's got to be so crushing, to take your time out, to try and reset, to have your moment,
30
and
seconds
then immediately you don't clear Cubby, you lose a player to the judge, and there's a perfect crossfire waiting for you as you actually enter the site. Autumn's left alone, but Starbound holding the exit out from this corner. This one is over. WADA 8-2 already.
I think this just sort of shows the class of WADA obviously dominating into the game, where if you don't match WADA on just a baseline level of strong Valorant fundamentals, they are going to run away with these rounds. Like, players just aren't going to give you an opportunity. Here, I think even Femboy pulls the trigger a little bit early. It is what it is, but then the fights continue to come in. WADA seemingly always have two more players ready to support fights that you just wouldn't expect them to be in those spots.
And it's because KIRI has been quite readable for WADA. When they see players, normally when they see that ISO or that Yoru, they're so quick to send rotates in to have 2-3 players ready to trade on out. WADA has just been a step ahead in the macro on this map. They were definitely a step ahead on Bind as well.
Okay. Well, Autumn has a bit of an insert on A short. KIRI are trying to play the full map. It's a refreshing sight to see. And now with a smoke to guard the advance from Bunny B, KIRI might have actually figured something out. Yuna could have heard that. The worst possible timing. What is going on? Bunny B still wins the fight. And this player on C side is low. Bunny B is somehow winning all of these. And this has given KIRI a real chance into the round. Even as the lurk goes down, Terra's here onto the site. Koro pops the shield. Femboy gets 2 kills. Where is that even happening? This round is an absolute mess. Pandemonium. As now walking straight into Power's crosshair. Bunny B goes down. And out of nowhere, Koro finds theirself in a 1-on-3. 2 players to face, and 1 to fall in Koro this round. I don't know what I just witnessed.
That's what I have to say about that round. What just happened? We start that round immediately. Bunny B is literally full walking all the way up B with just a close smoke on the right side to protect. Gets caught off guard on a bad timing. There's a whip on the other side. Bunny B gets this kill, spins around for a second, and then somehow Femboy does that. Okay, yeah.
I appreciate production not showing the replay of the 20 bullets there that found their way into the wall. Tech pause is...
and that round broke someone's computer.
Well, it broke my brain. So it could just be that the little men up in there have to start working on the repairs. Making sure the gears are all spinning properly, but...
little, like, are you imagining, like, they're repairing, or that they, like, walk in the wheel and spin it?
Well, I imagine, like, bikers. You know that episode of Black Mirror where they're just biking? Like,
sure. Like, they're,
for no
like,
reason.
trying to build the, like, calories or whatever. Or not the calories,
they're not
like
even
the points.
they're getting points, but for no possible reason. I have a lot of little guys up in my head that are doing that. They're trying to get points and get their, like, in-game, you know, purchases going, but... Yeah,
no, being in the wheel has got to be cool. When I was in France for Champs, took a little day trip, went to Mont Saint-Michel, which is the thing that Corrode is based off of. So I went to Corrode, Valorant viewers, but in Corrode, they
built Corrode in real life?
Yes, they built Corrode in real life.
For Champs?
And they actually did it in the 1500s. It's crazy. I didn't know Valorant existed back then.
That's crazy.
But they had this, it's like on top of a mountain because it's like Corrode, but it's on an island. So how do you bring stuff up there that's heavy? Well, no, you don't carry it up the steps. You build a giant wheel hooked up to a rope, and then you put your stuff on a sled, and you have a man walk in the wheel to slowly winch it up.
Wait, he's just like hamstering?
Yes, they had a human hamster wheel that's like 500 years old in Corrode to bring stuff up.
That's fire.
I thought that was sick. And I was just there, and I was like, you know what? Part of me thinks it would be a simpler time to be the wheel man.
Honestly. Do you think that's how NRG trained up their Corrode to be as good as it is? Did they have to, like, be
they had
hamster
Brock
men?
walking in the wheel with an Odin for 8 hours a day. It might be.
That's crazy. Well, I'm trying to get some information to see if what's going on here, but for the meantime, we're just enjoying what we got going down on Haven. It would be nice actually if we could just switch and start showing Corrode, and then you know you could just keep talking about Corrode IRL, which apparently exists.
Yeah, it was crazy because I didn't realize that that's what Corrode was based off of, but I knew it was like a cool place to go. So I pulled up and I was like, oh my god, that's like Corrode.
Mimi, we got news that it was a broken mouse. So I think it was actually a mouse wheel, and the mouse got so tired from walking in the wheel that it literally broke. And only now we've gotten a replacement mouse, or the mouse just, you know, got to nap for 5 minutes, and we're ready to play again.
Scanning ahead.
Cool, here we go. Already, the ult gonna get popped, and a peek down short.
Are they so dead, though? That is the question we will be answering in the final round of the half. 9-2, it certainly seems that way, although a few bullets will take Femboy low. Information is all Starbound needs. We'll lock in on this spot for a while.
A walk in towards Garage on the other side, but with the forward posted chamber, WADA are very comfortable to rotate heavy back towards this side of the map.
Wall gets tripped, and check out where Juna is actually, sneaking over into Rabbit. Has tried to play here a few times and has more support behind her, right? With Femboy playing on B side, even Power Pixel could start to get involved, and KIRI, they failed to clear their corners before, and now going straight on in once again. This player falls, 2 already on the round for WADA. Doesn't even matter if there's players on the A side. Starbound is here. Ready to shut them down. Lineup's getting ready. Bunny B secures 1 kill and continues walking forward despite back into Link. Trying to catch a timing before the Visult comes down, and now all the ultimates trading in. Calsushi trying to find something down in short. The first kill goes their way. Now dropping out of heaven, Femboy gets another. Cal maybe the last bastion of hope on side of this site. Biding their time as Autumn comes in for support. And brings it all onto the one, but Autumn is so low. And needs this round for KIRI to have a shot into the next half. No bullets in the chamber. Junas get back onto the spike. Another fake, and it's gonna pay off. Juna takes WADA up to another 10-2 half.
Another chaotic round. The KIRI players, knowing that Visult is coming, are so desperate to try and swing towards spawn to get ahead on their opportunity, but still almost make it happen. Big credit to Cal. The Sovolt to get a pick on the player CT not only gets 1 kill, but keeps her teammates alive there for that bit longer. But not to be in the end. It goes all the way back to those first 2 kills. The chamber off finding a pick, the walk up into an off angle. Second time this half where someone has just walked into an off angle and gone completely unchecked. It's 10-2 now. This is a tour de force really for WADA, trying to close this second map out cleanly.
One last moment for KIRI to take a breather. And we're in this exact same position back on Bind. Couldn't quite turn it around even after the pistol. This time gonna have to go a little bit deeper if they want their year to continue.
And maybe a little fake action, put some pressure with the Yoru and the Sova towards the C site, but KIRI knows they're fighting up.
Wow, big old fight. Even gets the shield refreshed. Koro caught on a reload.
Shut down.
Gonna take a little bit of extra time, but the tracking through the wall is there. And KIRI, you know him, you love him. These rounds are wild and they never stop the charge. Maybe defense is exactly where they feel most comfortable. Koro's already got 3 onto the round. Has full control of the spike, and as players continue to start challenging into Femboy. There's just too many directions to keep covered. KIRI will take the pistol.
Yeah, it turns out they're better on defense. Just literally run it down on every part of the map together, and it'll work out.
It's just that easy.
Yep. 2 players push through long, check. 1 player is pushing through seawall, that's happening, check. Rest of the team is walking up mid. Yep. Samaj, it's perfect. I mean, that is a really nice round to build the confidence back up. But I do feel like I was selling the same thing. The pistol round of this one, the second half of the first one. They're always able to get like this one round that reminds you who they are. The question now is, can they build some actual consistency behind it? And can they win a clean anti-eco, which will give them a chance at the bonus?
The truth is, KIRI have only won a rifle round in this map. They're gonna have to show a whole lot more than we've seen so far. Good shot out of Terror, just tracking through the smoke. The rest of KIRI make their way into the site, so barring a complete disaster and barring just mowing them down long, KIRI are going to be able to take this one. Now it's about making it as clean as possible. That Ares from Autumn doing some damage.
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting time that they decided to go for. It got a couple of guns and then kind of a random smattering of other stuff, getting the Ares into the mix. But this is going to be a good bonus round. You've got 2 real rifles. You've got a Guardian to boot. There's an opportunity for KIRI to make something of this. You're going to expect something aggressive here if you're WADA, but KIRI are going to do it anyway, because that is how they win. And when you're playing ISO Yoru, if you're KIRI and Game Changers, if you're Fnatic, it doesn't matter. Running down A and fighting here is the best. With this comp, so of course they're running for it.
I'm going to tell you a story of the Cal Sushi Guardian. The Cal Guardian was always the most deadly gun in their hands back on Teddy Tactics. If there's going to be a way to win, it's going to be through that or maybe Bunny Bee barreling it down short. These fights are there and Cal is going to end up falling. This flank won't even pay off with the tripwire unless Autumn holds for a moment to catch on the opposite side. No, just causing some distraction on the other side. Challenges them forward, says come straight into my Ares. Exactly the position Autumn wants. And with all these footsteps being heard as well, trying to call the rest of the team back over towards the C side of the map. Hold on now, Autumn, turn around. These players are coming back outside of garage. What is Autumn seeing? Nothing. Just seeing the pavement now. As Bunny can't do much more than 1 kill. Terror's not going to be able to do anything either. Those shots just not there. bonus, hope, but nothing to be found for KIRI.
You were selling me a good story with the Cal Guardian, and it looked like there could be some promise for that fight towards A, but not to be. WADA trade out just that bit better on this round. It nearly got weird with Bunny finding that gap with the Stinger, but it really was just all isolated kills, isolated moments. That's been the story of this entire series. Now for KIRI, last chance in the game. Last chance in Game Changers this year. If you lose today, you don't have another chance. And they only have a couple rounds to go before that fate awaits them.
Not even their usual aggro selves apart from Koro. But being hard held this time, he's going to find that kill. And now the fight out of garage window. All of a sudden, KIRI have hit their marks, traded back quickly.
Spike down,
but the
mid.
spike's still a problem. Has to be claimed. No pressure out from door. So the only way forward is to deal with this window player. To take out Terra.
Player standing.
And that's just not going to happen. Easier said than done.
Give Terra a Guardian every round, and they seem to hit a clip. Very nice 3K to keep KIRI through. But a weird round also. That was a real quick one for WADA. They tried to just send it up towards Garage after that initial engagement going their way over towards A long. But KIRI managed to stay in it, and that's going to be a reset on the economy. So something's starting to happen for KIRI. But as I look at their defense, the more you're going to see this, especially with just this Clove. Normally in this kind of comp, you have like the Omen, who's a pretty good C anchor. The Clove also just wants to fight. So they're going to have to keep walking. They're going to have to keep trying to find these opportunities. And that means every player on this team has to be at the peak of confidence.
Oh wow, Koro wants the duel. Has the better gun. Pulls Juna onto the other side, but Juna played that so nicely. Quick shot to break the shield, then swings on a second for the headshot. It's brought this into a 2-on-3 now. Power with the gun in hand, Power with a chance
Spike down
to do some
A.
serious damage. And Juna, who started off the round with the kill, finds herself placed in a 1-on-2. Picks up a Stinger, but likes her odds with the one tap. This time, not going to go her way. Terror keeps it moving.
That's such a big risk to take, ripping the ISO ultimate in that position, basically forcing Cal to completely cover you there. You're in such an isolated position, stuck in that corner. I wonder if the mental picture was that it was just like a lurker over there, off seeing the Cypher cage and just hoping to get the easy pick. Either way, trades out. It worked.
Yeah, I think the dream is there. You get the kill quickly in the kill contract, and then you have two players actually fighting on short before you go forward. Doesn't exactly work when
but
you...
even then, it takes like 5 seconds to get out,
Yeah.
even when you get the kill.
I don't disagree with you. It's tough right now for KIRI trying to find some kind of answer. Now with the attack up from Starbound. Koro has been so effective on this second half. This time though, a drone in their face, the undercut to cancel. Shield already primed. Koro wants to take this fight. Koro's just gonna face up into 4 players here, doesn't even care. Gets the first.
Down A.
Holds their ground as Autumn creeps out of Garage. KIRI might actually have tapped into something special here. WADA under a serious amount of pressure as the re-clear comes down, but Cal is there now. Fight back into mid. WADA have found a way to get back towards the C site.
But through that all, KIRI stick around. They lose their players after being at an initially huge advantage, and now C site open for the taking. Starbound will be able to get this spike down.
There are 4 ults for 4 players ready to go. Cal with the chance to even delay the plant and give an opportunity for Terror to slip through this smoke.
Last
Terror will have
player
a second lease
standing.
on life and is going to need it. Now though, with the pressure, using the Hunter's Fury like it's with the Your ultimate. That's 4 kills on the round now for Juna. And with the reposition up into Garage window, there is so much darkness on the map. Cal has no clue where these players could be. Knows they're not close at the very least. But only has so much time to work with. Has to be perfect on the shots. An operator down on long. Baits out the Astra, but doesn't catch the proper timing. Now Volned as well. Taking the timing on the reload, that's exactly the right idea, but the shots aren't there! WADA 1 away from the lower final.
Match
And
point.
KIRI got to be kicking themselves after that round. They were so close to taking control. They find the opening fights that they wanted, but their willingness to fight, their need to get every kill becomes their undoing later in that round, failing to trade out towards short, losing a player back into mid.
Now we win.
And throughout this chaos, the common thread of the game has been WADA's experience, their team play together, and just their confidence to not care that KIRI is swinging every angle have kept them alive. They're showing why there was a tier gap on paper between these teams.
And on an individual level as well, we talk so much about Starbound or whoever on WADA. Juna having an absolutely stellar map so far. 20 kills as the Astra, as a matter of course, and so many of those in those late round clutch situations.
So a drone towards long from WADA. KIRI play a little more passive this time, but still a couple players in positions to take fights. A judge posted up in short.
Who's next?
I like the judge's odds versus the op here. Starbound taking the wider line. Starbound might just have that as the camera's clicked into. It's devastating. Now WADA with a numbers advantage. KIRI's year hangs in the balance. And it'll hang on by a thread. 3 players all isolated. One by one they fall. It's just Bunny B and Cal. And it's gonna have to be done without any guns the shorty now. But it's only gonna be a 1-for-1. Cal being asked to do so much here. And WADA can already feel that lower bracket. Feel that run. Ready for a chance against YFP. Cal strikes first. Brings it down lower, but the clock is ticking. It's starting to become impossible. Astralis shuts it down. And WADA will go forward to the lower final.
It's what you would have expected to see for WADA.